What's up, YouTube? Sandman here. Some of y'all know me, some of you don't. The ones that don't are about to. The ones that do know what you're about to expect, what you're about to get. So I got this video for you guys today, and this is gonna be a bit of a rant video, but I got a little list next to me. I'm gonna stick to the facts. We got some motherfucking issues, man. And I've said it over and over again in my last few times I've streamed 2K. There's no way I'm buying 2K20. That fuck you. Like, fuck you, 2K. And if you didn't know my channel, now you do. I don't hold shit back. I'm not monetized. I don't owe nobody $1. I don't have to watch what the fuck I say so I don't piss somebody. I don't have to do none of that. I'm gonna tell you guys for real. Fuck 2K. They've been fucking us year after year after year. And in this video, if you're a MYCAREER player, I'm going to tell you how. So the first thing I want to show is my VIP stats. As you can see, I am not a playground player. I don't go to the park. I don't do the rec center. I don't do the pro-am. I don't do none of that shit. That's not my game. Like, I'm not out here trying to say, hey, I'm some badass video gamer. Like, I mean, can you really claim you're good at basketball because you're good at a basketball game? Can you really claim you're good at a basketball game because you're good at basketball? This shit makes no fucking sense, man. It makes no sense. Literally. So from my perspective, like if you're talking shit about this game, you better have some time in MYCAREER. And so that's why I wanted to show you guys these stats first. You can see, like, you can't fake this shit. You also can't get that many wins without putting in some goddamn time. I've seen a lot of these YouTubers, these park guys, who say the game's this or that, or it's great or whatever, and then you look at their fucking careers, their NBA games, and they got like negative records with fucking like D- as their average, and fucking they ain't doing shit. And they're putting up 90 points per game, but the rest of their shit is garbage. Because they don't actually know how to play the game. They know how to play park. And that's a completely different animal. So I wanted to get this. I ain't trying to talk shit to those dudes. Like, fuck those dudes. They ain't even in. They're not in my world. I'm not in theirs. And I prefer to keep it that way. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But for what we're going to talk about today, this is MYCAREER, and there are a lot of MYCAREER players out there. There's a lot of players out there who don't want to go into the park. Whether it's because you're scared, whether it's because it's just not your thing, whether because PvP just don't do it for you, whether you could ball out on them bitches and you just don't feel like it, whatever it is. There are a lot of guys who only want to play MYCAREER. Like, that's their thing. They want to log in, be an NBA player, and dominate the NBA. And even if they can't do it right away, they want to get their badges, get their overall up, whatever it may be, and then dominate the NBA, right? Work for it and then get it, like a regular RPG. Because let's be honest, that's what 2K is now. It's a fucking RPG. So there you go. There's the record. I'm not lying. I've looked every time I fucking log in. I go into this shit right here, right? And I'm going to show you guys, like I said, it's going to be a bit of a rant. It ain't real squared away. But you can go in here and look at these guys. Like, this dude's a 95 overall, right? Badass, right? This dude put some fucking work in. Like, much respect. Shot creating sharpshooter, right? So he's the meta build. 6'4" point guard. That was a bad decision. You'd have gotten much better badges as a shooting guard. But anyways, he put in some work, right? And so we think, all right, pretty decent dude, right? But look at his NBA. 235 games. I bet you that's his only player. I picked a bad one right off the start. Because 235 games with a 983, that's not bad. That's not bad. I picked a bad one right off the start. What can I say? Champ 6, you get props, bro. Your MYCAREER is solid. So let's find somebody else. All right. So I can't dribble, right? All right. And I'm not trying to call these dudes out. I'm just showing you what I'm talking about, right? So you gonna have an 80 overall win percentage, but yet you shooting like that? I think maybe I'm picking the wrong ones because these high overalls apparently play MyCAREER. I forget that's how you gotta level your badges nowadays. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Alright. A lot of these guys also, let's keep in mind, are spamming the pick and roll bullshit. The whole, like, badge grind bullshit where you just spam the same plays over and over and over again. So if that's what you're into, okay. But the whole point, I wanted to show you guys, like, I have put tons of time in MyCAREER. I know how MyCAREER works. I know what it's like. It sucks. And like I said, I'm no fucking, like, pro gamer. I'm an average player just trying to have fun playing a basketball game, right? So I got off on my rant a little bit, but here we go. So the whole point of this video is that the 2K20 boycott is in effect, right? Like that's not fake. That's real. Like there are a lot of people who are like, nah, fuck it. I ain't doing this again. We done did it. Like 2K16 was okay. And so like even for MyCAREER guys, like 2K16 was okay. The park guys, they look back at it like it was, the land of all time, and like that was the greatest moments in 2K. And for MyCAREER players, it was average, but it wasn't horrible. You could have fun. You could dominate MyCAREER. It was fun to play. And then you got 2K17 and 2K18, and it's just like every year it gets a little bit worse. They make it look a little better. The graphics get a little better. The animations, the way they look, and that's key. I'm gonna explain that later, but the animations, the way they look gets better, but the gameplay, the tactics, the leveling up, the systems in general in this game, as it's in the last 3 years, 19, 18, and 17, has been shit, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. And so, yeah, I'm going to stop on this screen right here. I just want to show that I am a MyCAREER player. I'm not speaking out of my ass. I have a really good record in MyCAREER. Like, and you got to remember, like, your first, like, 10 games in MyCAREER, if you don't play the Prelude, you're doing with no stats, no badges, like, you don't have shit. So I have a decent record in MyCAREER. That's all I play. So I want to make that specific, because I get bitches that come on my channel and like, oh, you just don't know what the fuck you're doing, and you go look at them, they're fucking park players. If you're a park player, go play park. Like, go watch another video. That's your deal. I'm talking about MyCAREER here today, and why I actually agree. And I'm going to shout out another YouTuber, and I did let him know I was going to shout him out. It was recent. I hadn't heard back. I don't expect to. He's much bigger than me. But there's a YouTuber, Jacked Bill. Anybody who follows 2K knows about this guy. He's been calling 2K out on all their bullshit, all their, like, interior shit that, like, the average player wouldn't even know about. But here's the thing. I'm the average player. So, like, when I watch that shit, like, it's, like, above my head, right? And so I'm thinking, yeah, okay, anybody like me is going to watch that shit, and if they're just, like, in love with 2K, they're just going to bypass it, right? They're going to say, alright, so they're doing some shady shit on the insides, but I'm still going to buy the game next year. I'm still going to, put up $50 per player and all that bullshit and all this stuff. So today, and I know this was a hell of an intro, but today, I'm going to show you guys why I am totally down with Jack Bill's 2K20 boycott. This dude, he's, almost, I think he's like 60 or 70,000 subscribers. And he's calling for a full-on boycott of 2K, and a lot of people are joining in. I'm one of them. And here's why. From a MyCAREER perspective. So I'm going to give you guys a prime example off the bat, and then I'm going to go into the actual details. So, prime example off the bat is this build that we're looking at right now. It's a build I actually made yesterday, right? And I started the Prelude yesterday, and I was just messing around, but I was like, holy shit, like, this guy's hitting everything. He's pure sharpshooter, 6'1", shooting guard, right? And I know you think, what? Wait, 6'1" shooting guard. MyCAREER. I don't play park. In my career, you got to figure out ways around the way they got the badges and shit set up. And I'll explain that in a minute. But you have to figure out ways to trick the game. And so you start out as a 6'1 shooting guard with a goal of when you hit 90 overall going to point guard, right? That's why I picked the 76ers. I'll explain. So anyways, I go into the prelude, right? And I ain't gonna lie, I spent $50 on this player and I leveled him up right away, 85 overall. I was hitting everything. Now this is not my first 6'1 pure sharp. It's not. I had one before, but he was like 160 pounds. Because my thought process was, I'll make him small as fuck, I'll give him 99 overall 3-point, and he'll be crazy fast. I didn't realize at the time that your weight actually has nothing to do with your speed, which is fucking insane. That's insane. It's just broke part of the game. It's just a really broke part of the game. But it is what it is. So I didn't realize it at first. So this is my second 6'1 pure sharp, right? So $100 worth of 6'1s pure sharps. I understand this player. I know what he can and can't do. I know what he's going to look like. Let me tell you something. The minute I made this dude 205 pounds, which is the max weight you can make a 6'1 shooting guard, everything changed in the prelude. I say that for a reason. My 160 pound 6'1 pure sharp was destroyed in the prelude. I couldn't do anything. It was fucking sad. Like, it was really bad. I pushed him through, and I actually did a couple streams with him, but I gave up on that build very, very quickly. The speed was just not enough to make up for the fact that the defense would just sit in the paint, wait on the ball. I could be right on top of them, have perfect shot contest, and they still just shoot it right in my face. It's because size is all that matters apparently now. So I made this build, right? 205, 6'1, shooting guard, pure sharp. I destroyed the prelude. I wished I'd streamed it. I didn't want to because I honestly felt like I would glitch myself. And like, I was just hitting everything. And I was having so much fun, and I was like, oh my god, I found my build. I literally had moments where I thought about making a new video about, holy shit, I found my favorite build. Because he's fast, or in the prelude, he was fast. He was strong. Shooter, or on defense, he couldn't just be shoved around. Like, literally, I would get those block animations where they try to go through you, but they just fall back. I was getting those constantly, and I was just like, holy crap, like, I think I found the build. Like, I think I found my build. Like, it fits my play style. I love to shoot threes. I like to dribble. I like to get the ball off quick. And I like to move around. And he was so fast. Like, unbelievably fast. I couldn't believe how fast he was. And it makes sense now. I'm going to explain. That was the prelude. That was the fucking prelude. So, I just finished my very first NBA game, right? And you may say, oh, okay, you went up against the Celtics. You were going up against Irving. No, I wasn't. Bitch, I ain't no starter yet. I ain't starting. I literally played against Irving maybe 2-3 plays. Most of the rest of the time, I'm playing against 6'10 fucking lockdowns. Because the game sets it up for the worst possible matchup for your build. Not only that, but it's all of your speed, all of your strength, all of your shooting ability, all that shit goes right out the fucking window the minute you go into the actual NBA. And this isn't just this build. I'm using this as an example. This has happened with every single build I've made. And I've made over 20 plus builds. I have deleted probably more builds than I have. Because you can only have so many builds. And all of them 85. I've spent well over $1,000 on this game. There's no question in my mind. Like, I've spent a ton of money on this game. That's why I'm bringing this to you guys. I want to bring some shit to your attention and let you know, like, they're gonna do this exact same shit in 2K20. Because it made money. 2K19 was the biggest selling 2K. I don't know what the actual statistics are, but I think it's in the last like 10 years. It's insane. They made more money than any other 2K. And it's broke as fuck, and I'm going to show you how they did it. So what they did was, you come into MYCAREER, right? And you go into the prelude. You create your player. It doesn't matter your build. Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And so you're going through the prelude, and you're thinking, wow, okay, this build, I can actually do shit. Like, I'm having fun. I'm beating these guys up. You don't got to take my word for it. Go watch the other YouTubers when they talk about the prelude, when they talk about badge grinding and level grinding. The first thing they say is, make sure you play through the prelude. There's a reason for that. The prelude is set on rookie. I didn't even realize that shit at first. I thought it was just some bullshit they did. They literally put the prelude on rookie, and that way you would think at some point through prelude you would think, oh fuck, I'm already good. This build is awesome. Let me buy some VC. Let me spend VC on this. Let me spend my hard-earned money on this. Because I've already played through the first 3 games of the prelude and I'm knocking it out. I'm putting up 30, 40 points per game. This build's golden, right? Especially if you're a MYCAREER player. If you're not even looking at the park. You're thinking, hey, I'm playing against the computer right now. This is what I'm going to play in MYCAREER. This build's fucking awesome, right? And that's the way I felt. That's why I'm using this build as an example. That's how I felt. Playing through the whole goddamn prelude. That's how I felt. And you can see I played 1 game and I already have a couple of my badges. That's because I played through the prelude. Right? And I felt the whole time like, this build's badass. I'm hitting every fucking 3. I'm shaking motherfuckers. I was actually breaking ankles. This build doesn't get ankle breaker, but okay. I felt like, hey, I found an intermediate. I found something amazing, right? I was destroying the prelude. Like I said, I just did my first MYCAREER game. This ain't my only build. I've done this a bunch of times, but this is the one that truly was like, this was the end all be all. I'm done. Like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. It's over and over again. As soon as I went into this very first MYCAREER game, the one thing I realized is your speed gets cut in half. Not your stats. Your stats are the same. But your overall speed gets just demolished. You're no longer fast at all. Your lateral is gone. I think what they're doing in Prelude is they're giving you some kind of boost, like a 10-point boost to your lateral, 10-point boost to your speed, 10-point boost to your shooting. They're giving you boost to all your stats in the Prelude, so you think you have a badass build, and then the minute you go into MYCAREER, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? Because it's not even close. It's not even close. Like, it's not even like, oh, the speed's just like not quite as fast because the NBA players are faster. No. It's not them. It's me. It's my player is 10 times slower than he fucking was. Like I said, they want to build you up in Prelude to make you spend your VC thinking you got a good build just to destroy it in MYCAREER with the intent of making you start over. That's the entire concept of this game. And as I keep going, we're going to keep going back to this. That is the concept of this game. Is to literally set you up so much for failure that you just start over. Buy some more VC. Create a new build. Your last one's garbage. My first question is, why is any, and I mean any build, I'm talking 5-7 defensive stopper, why is any build in MYCAREER garbage? That doesn't make any sense. Imagine if you played fucking Skyrim, right? Everybody's played Skyrim. Imagine if you played Skyrim and you chose the wizard and didn't find out till level 50 that choosing a mage or whatever was the weakest fucking build and that you couldn't kill anything and like your whole shit was just garbage. That's what they've done. That is what they've done. They have literally set you up for failure right from the beginning, right from the fucking prelude. You go into the prelude, you dominate, you go into your first game and you realize my speed is cut. My shooting. I was nailing everything. Well, honestly, I thought I found a glitch. I really did. Because I was using a new jump shot that I just picked up recently. And I thought, oh fuck, I found a glitch, man. I honestly had that thought. Because in Prelude, I was just hitting everything. It was insane. And I felt so good about this build. I really did. I really did. I felt amazing about it. I got to my first MYCAREER game. Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. Like, I literally I've started the Chicago game and I quit it to make this video. Because it got 10 times worse. Because it's about your first 10 games in MYCAREER like this. You can't do shit. You can't do a fucking thing. You're gonna miss every shot. Whoever you're facing on defense is going to be 10 times faster than you for some reason. It doesn't even make sense. You can look at the stats. The stats won't even make sense. Like, why? They have a lower speed than me. Why are they faster than me? When we're on the fast break, going up the court, why are they able to just put their hand on my hip and suddenly I can't run anymore? This is what they do. They set you up for failure from the prelude to make you buy VC in the prelude by fooling you into thinking that your build's dominant. So let's move on. I've harped on the prelude for a little bit. So that's the prelude, right? Right off the bat. They're like middle finger in your ass. They're just trying to fuck you right off the bat. So then you come to your first like 10 games, right? And your first 10 games, you're not really looking at who you're playing. I mean, you go up against Kyrie and you're like, okay, he's going to blow past me. I'm a brand new player, right? Like, my guy, he doesn't even have bronze badges hardly. Like I understand that. You just accept it. And so, like, even if you got through the prelude and got to the NBA and were, like, accepting of the fact that suddenly you hit the NBA and lose half your fucking stats, lose half your fucking speed, you can't hit any shots suddenly. Okay, well, maybe that's just, you're in the NBA, right? And that's them trying to, like, create a realism, right? A surrealism, as we'll call it. Like, you're in the NBA now. It's twice as hard. Okay, I guess. I came here to have fun, but alright. And so you start playing these NBA games, right? And you realize as you go, wait a minute, this doesn't change. Not only that, especially in your first 10 games when you're not a starter yet, because it usually takes about 10 games to make starter. That's the reason I'm using that number. You're going to be facing whoever the NPC just puts you against. You're not going to be facing automatic starters. So, like, as I played that game against the Celtics, I realized right away, like, I'm not going to be playing Kyrie. I'm going to be playing a fucking 6'10 lockdown. I forget what the dude's name was, but they had me playing him the whole game. He just stuck to me like glue. And I thought back, well, wait a minute. This was the exact same problem I had with the last 6'1 Pure Sharp I made. This is the exact same problems I have with the 6-foot playmakers I make. They put 6'8", 6'10 pure lockdowns on you. The game literally sets you up for failure because you're already in MYCAREER. You've already spent VC because you went through the prelude and you thought your build was good, and you get to MYCAREER and you're like getting shut down. And so what do? You back out, you start over, you spend some more VC, and you try a different build. And they want you to do this as many times as possible. And I realize we're like repeating shit here. That's the whole point. 2K literally set this entire game up like this. I'm not done yet. There are several other stages that you go through in MYCAREER to let you know, hey, it doesn't matter what build you made, doesn't matter how good you think you are, unless you spam plays. And I know I'm going to get people who are like, duh, I put up 50 points per game and I blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you probably spam pick and roll with ISO whatever every fucking time. You're not good at the game, dude. You're not good at the game. You're not. That spamming the same fucking shit over and over again because it glitches the game does not mean you're good at it. The average player is not even going to entertain that thought. They come to these games to have fun. We come to it for a power fantasy. I could never join the NBA. I have nowhere near... I played basketball all through high school. I actually played 2 years of college. I was decent. I was never anything even close to like what an NBA player shits out after a game. It's just not even close. It's not. And so I come here for the power fantasy. I come here to build a player. And even if he's not a golden god right off the bat, that's what the RPG part of the game is supposed to be for, right? That's going to bring us to our next stage. So you go through the prelude, you think you got something good or whatever. That's where they get you the first time. The second time they get you is who they put on you and how they play you and how you lose half your fucking stats the minute you go into MYCAREER. The third way they get you is with the actual stats of the game. So let's say you go into MYCAREER, right? You play through the prelude, you think you're a beast. You go into MYCAREER and you're like, okay, what the fuck? Why am I at a sudden halt? Well, maybe I need badges or something. Like, you forget about prelude. And there's something about this game that will make you do that. I did that multiple times, a lot of multiple times. You just kind of forget about prelude. You're like, yeah, it's prelude. It's not the NBA. It doesn't really count. And so you come in the NBA, you're getting your ass kicked, or even if you're not, like, it just doesn't feel right. You know you're slower. Like anyone who wants to talk shit about, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Literally, go make a player, play him through the prelude, level him up to 85, and then go into MYCAREER and time the distance you can run in. And tell me you're not fucking slower. Every build I've made has done that. Every single one. The minute you come into MYCAREER, you're slower. You're weaker. You can't play defense at all. Like, it's fucking sad unless you're locked down. Even then, they'll just shoot right through your hands because you don't have Hall of Fame badges. It's a fucking joke. But let's say you go through all of that, right? You go through all that. And you're 20 games into your MYCAREER. You have silver and gold badges. You're dominating most of your games, right? Like I said, like I showed you my VIP stats. I'm not sitting here bitching because I'm losing every game. I win the majority of my games without question. But it's how they're won. It's what I have to go through to win them. It's, do I actually have fun playing these games? And do I feel like these builds actually can do what they're supposed to do? No. That's the simple fucking answer. No. Nothing about this game is what it appears. So you get past your first, I'll quit out. I'm going to go into a different player because I want to show you guys a player that I've actually grinded. I'll take like a 91 overall or something like that. And I'll show you guys what the next stage of fuck you is that 2K has done. People think 2K just like advertised a lot. Or, you know, they force people in the park to buy boosts because that's what those bitches are gropping about. No. They're literally multiple stages that they put you through to try to back you up, to try to force you to go back and buy VC. And I'm going to show you two prime examples of that right now. Okay. So, like I said, yeah, I can't even make any new players. Every time I make a new one, I have to delete one, and I've literally deleted probably 10 players. All 85s. Because I've been testing this for a long time. We'll just put it that way. So, let's see. You know what? Let's go with post scores. Alright. So a two-way post score, right? We'll start with him because he's got the lower stats. So here's a two-way post score, 91 overall. I'm about to show you. Don't worry, guys. I'm not just showing off. I'm going to show you guys the next stage. This is the next thing. So after they've gotten you in the prelude, they've gotten you with your first like 10 or 20 games in MYCAREER. Here's the next thing they get you with, right? So you come in here, right, and oh, look at that. My tattoos are broke again. I have a tramp stamp again. That's supposed to be a giant tattoo that covers my whole back. You can see where it's all blotted out. This game's so fucking broke. Jesus Christ. Anyways, so you do all that, right? You get your badges up, and you've got some golds and silvers, and everything's like hitting maxes and all this, right? And you think, okay, I put some time in, and I should be a beast motherfucker by now, right? I put up with the prelude. I put up with my first 10 or 20 games. I mean, this guy's like 60, 70 games in or whatever it is. And you can see, you can still dominate every game. Don't get me wrong. I don't want anybody coming in and saying you suck at the game. I know how to fucking win. That's not the point of this video. So I know I'm repeating that, but I don't want to fucking hear it, because I know that's how stupid motherfuckers think. They just look for the first thing they can attack you on before actually looking at the facts. Bitch, facts. I don't have a problem with losing in this fucking game. That's not my issue. The issue is the actual gameplay itself. So anyways, you get through the prelude, they try to fuck you there. You get through your first 10 or 20 games in my career, they try to fuck you there. You finally get to the point, like I said, where you're sitting with like what you think are decent stats, and you got a bunch of gold badges, and your silvers are getting maxed, and you're maxing out all these bronze. You think, okay, I'm at a level right now where like I should be having fun in this game. I put in the work, right? I'm not top tier yet, right? I'm not a 99 overall. I don't have all Hall of Fame badges. But especially if you're a two-way and you have a bunch of gold badges, you're fucking you're good. You're done. Like, you're there. It doesn't get any better. Like wherever you're at, that's where you're at until you hit like 95 to 99. That's the way the game is. I mean, there's go look at your stats. There's no secret to that, right? So you get to this point and you think you're going to be badass. And yeah, sure, you can dominate every game because you've learned what to spam. You've learned what works and what doesn't. Like I said, it's not about whether or not you can win or not. It's about the actual numbers. It's about what they're actually giving us for our fucking time, right? So here's what I want to show you, right? A 91 overall post-scoring defender, two-way post score, right? Defender second, post scorer first, right? Here's the first thing that always trips me out. Anybody notice a problem? Does anybody notice a problem? I'm a 91 overall. Maybe someday I'll hit an 85? That's my potential? When I first started playing this game, that number really used to bother me. It really fucking bothered me. I would make builds and I'd be like, why is this build like I can go to 99? Why is my potential a fucking 80? I have builds that have potential at like a 74. My 6'6" point guard, who's a pure sharp, who puts up 50-point triple doubles every single game I play him in, has a 78 potential. he's a 90 overall. Like it makes no sense. That was my first like inclination that like, wait a minute, okay, stats don't seem right. Something seems jacked up here. And then I started like, every time you're playing a game, you can hit triangle during certain points of the game, and you can actually compare your player against the guy you're guarding, or the guy that's guarding you. And I started realizing like, wait a minute, like some of this shit isn't adding up. Like why do some of these centers have like a 90 overall defense, but then they also have like a 90 overall inside and an 83 point? Like that build doesn't exist. That build does not exist in the game. You can't make that. Okay. Well then why does every center in the game get a 90 plus box out? The average is an 88. But I make a 7'2", 276 giant motherfucker with 90... What's his fucking strength? 91 strength. I'm fucking 8 above the average. Yet I can't box nobody out. Because even the basic player... I'm not talking about the superstars, guys. I'm talking about the basic player in the game. Your basic center has a better box out than I do. Has better defense than I do. I'm a fucking defensive archetype. Why do I have shittier defense than the average in the game if I'm a defensive archetype? This is a two-way post. And I started thinking, okay, wait a minute. It can't be like this for every build, right? Like maybe I just picked a shitty build, right? And that's probably people who be watching this video who don't know me. They probably be thinking the same thing. Like this, well, you picked a shitty build, right? Like, why'd you make them so heavy? Well, actually, as you raise your weight, your strength raises. Well, okay, well, you made them too tall. Okay. Your strength and your box out should be like one and the same. Those two should go together like hand in hand, right? 91 overall strength, right? I won't even go to another team. Let's find Lopez, right? Lopez, what's your fucking strength, bro? A 76. He has 76 strength, right? I honestly don't know. This could be much lower. Nope, he got a higher box out than me. He got better defensive IQ than I do. His defense, he got the shittiest rebound in the world, but he got a better box out than me. So does every other fucking center in the game. It's fucking crazy. I couldn't figure out, because I used to only stick with these big man builds, and I couldn't figure out, like, I was getting muscled no matter what build I made. I was just getting destroyed in the paint. Every time it came to box out, or like getting shoved around, or like the post like push-in moves where they'll just shove you off, which they took out of the game. We can't shove people anymore. Has anybody noticed that the CPU can still do that? Why can they do that and I can't? When I'm running into picks, like guys are just shutting me down. I couldn't figure out any of that. And then I realized it's because they gave every fucking center in the game a higher box out than any build I can make, except a pure fucking rebounder. That's literally the only way. I've looked at the combinations of builds, and the only way to beat that 88 overall position average at box out for a center is to make a pure rebounder. Tell me why the fucking average center in this game has a higher box out than you can possibly even get, unless you choose a pure archetype like that. It makes no fucking sense. And so I thought, okay, well, maybe I just found this one stat, right? Like I said, we're in stage 3. This is the third stage where you start to realize, like, wait a minute, I'm getting fucked here. Because even at a 99 overall, if I push my build to 99 overall, right? My box out on this build, I think, only goes to like an 82. I think that's what it goes to. Yeah. 82 overall, 80 offensive rebound, 80 defense. That's my max on a 7'2", 276. I don't give a fuck about the rebound. I get it. Builds that are meant specifically to go for rebounds, okay. I mean, I don't understand it because I have good ball control. I'm a post scorer. I shouldn't have a problem catching the ball in the air. I'm fucking huge. And I'm strong as fuck. Why would I not be like an insanely good rebounder? Because the game wants to find a way to fuck you again. And so what you find out is like, okay, so I'm going to stick with this build for the moment because I'm going into depth here. So that's the first thing I noticed was like your box out. You can't get the average box out unless you create a pure rebounder. That's insane. That means that no matter what build I make, the NPCs are going to dominate me in the paint. They're going to shove me around. They're going to push me out. They're going to pull the chair. Whatever it may be, they're going to destroy me in the fucking paint. And they still do. I'm a 91 overall. I can put up glorious points. I showed you the wins. I can win with this build, but I don't even try to box out in the paint. What I actually do is pull out and then run back in to get the rebound. Because box out's all fucked up. And it's to make you think, okay, well, I made a shitty build, right? Not quite. Not quite. So this guy's primary skill is a post scorer, right? I have gold post scoring, right? I've had builds with Hall of Fame. There's no difference. There is zero difference between Hall of Fame post spin technician and gold. There is zero difference. Your average will stay almost exactly the same. I'm sorry. I've had both. That's what it is. So you think, okay, well, I have a decent post offense, even though that's my primary, 86. That should be high enough, right? And gold? Nope. Nope. I can't spin anybody. Because they all have 90 fucking box outs, and your box out is what lets you stay in front of your defender in the post. That is what stops the actual post spin. That's why you create a pure post score and you're sitting there, you know, rotating your right stick trying to get a good spin off a fucking average player, and he's just jumping over in front of you and shutting you down, or you're doing these weird ass layups off the back of the fucking rim. It's because of that box out. So even with gold post score and an 86 overall, post scoring is a 50-50. I actually score better in post scoring with my lockdown, with my small forward lockdown, than I do with my pure post. There's a reason this build was so low on the list. I don't use it anymore. It's garbage. When I finally figured out what was going on, I quit using it because it's trash. And that's what 2K wanted. They want you to think your build is trash. Because it is. It's not you. It's not your playing ability. If you're playing on the easiest difficulty in the game, which we'll get to, why is there no rookie? That's just one other, like, area. That's not even a stage. That's just a flat out, like, fuck you if you suck at the game, give us your money. If you're a 5-year-old and you want to play 2K and you're just not some incredible 5-year-old who's just ripping everybody up, guess what? Give them money. That's what they want you to think. That's the whole... They literally have built this entire game around scamming you out of your money, around making you think that you're going to be good and then taking it away from you so you start over. Because they know that there's no competition. It's a monopoly. And if you're going to tell me we'll go play live, seriously, go fuck yourself. If you played live, I have it. I have Live 19. I deleted it literally months ago because I was just like, this is not even with as bad as 2K is. I couldn't even bring myself to play live. That shit, it's like I'm watching a fucking cartoon. It's sad. And so, back on topic. So, you're going through these stats, right? And so I pointed out a very obvious one, that pretty much every center in the game has a higher box out. And it's not just this one build. I have multiple center builds, and it's like that for all of them. Like I said, this guy's a defensive archetype. Yet he didn't even hit the average on his defensive ability. What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? It's fucked up. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no fucking sense. I'm 7'2". I'm 7'2", 276. I should be able to just destroy from inside. Not even average. Not even average. You cannot tell me that that's correct, that that's okay. That there's not something incredibly wrong with that. Why does every other center in the game get an 85 shot contest, but yet I get a 77 at a 91 overall? Like, how many 90 plus players are there in the game? They're not. And that brings me to my next point. Most of these, not even most, your average build in this game is probably like an 80. It's not even an 85 where we start at. It's like an 80. But it'll get like an 85 shot contest. And so that started drawing me into the rest of the numbers and starting to like compare them, and not just across this build, but against multiple builds, and like saying, okay, well, wait a minute. Are they doing this all? They are doing this across every single build. And that brought me back to this right here. Remember when I told you at the beginning of the video that the potential is fucked up? Potential in this game is completely broken. Or is it? And here's where I realized that it's not. It's actually not. Let me show you something. You can go all the way to the top, right? Tell me why my 7'2", 276 post-scoring defender, fucking all-inside player, I don't even know where the three-point line is. I would never go out there. I sure as fuck wouldn't shoot off the dribble out there. Are you crazy? Why are my numbers so much higher? And don't give me this, well, you can make the three. No, you fucking can't. Not in my career. In the park you can, because it accelerates your actual percentage based on how open you are. In my career, it goes off your numbers. I will never make a fucking three with this player. It's not gonna happen. Mid-range is a fucking joke with this player. It's literally not even 50-50. I probably shoot like 30% from mid-range if I get outside of layup ability. Why is my shit so fucking high? You know why? So they could average my fucking stats out to be a 91 overall, even though I'm shit at every stat that counts. The actual stats that make you a good center in this game, I'm shit at. I'm below fucking average. But they give me a high 3, so it averages me out to a 91. Your overall is broke as fuck. It's broke as fuck. And you may say, well, this was just an error. They just overlooked some shit. They just did something wrong, whatever. Nope. It was on purpose. It's stage 3. That's what it is. It's stage 3. It's so when you get to this point where you're an 89, a 90 overall, whatever, and you start going, why is my player really not getting any better? Like, he still feels exactly the same. I have gold badges. I have high stat. Like, what's the problem? And then you actually start comparing yourself against the averages, and you go, wait a minute. What the fuck? What the fuck? The position average is an 82. An 82! Why do I have a 91 if all of my stats that matter are lower? It's because you got bullshit stats. You got bullshit stats. You got threes, contested 3, and shit like that on a center that's never gonna fucking shoot threes. And it's so you would think you had gotten this high overall, and it's that last little stage to say, hey, you're high overall, but your build is still garbage. Spend more VC. Start over. Make a new one. And it's like this with every build. It's not just, I didn't just pick this build and say, oh, look, I found some stats that were lower. I will prove it. We'll go to a fucking playmaker. Actually, we'll go to I have a 90 overall playmaking shot creator. We'll go to him. I'll show you what I'm talking about there. And guys, I see the comments popping. I can't read them right now. I don't even have my phone up, but I'm doing an actual like info video, so I'm not gonna respond to them. So sorry. I don't mean to offend you, but I'll look at them after, man. I start jumping off my rails, and I'll get sidetracked and shit. And I'm trying to go through all the stages that 2K actually takes you through for this shit. So there we go. Playmaking shot creator, right? 90 overall. As you can see, I put in work on every build that I have. I don't just make an 85 and delete them because I'm like, he doesn't do what I want. Like, I put in work on the builds, and then I'm like, why is this build garbage? And then I realize afterwards, well, here's why. This is why. So, come on. I didn't realize he was in the middle of the game. Let me get through this real quick, and then I'll go into his stats, and I'll show you. It's the same on point guards. They give you stats and stuff that you have no business having stats in, just to make sure that you think your overall is higher than it actually is. Alright. So, NBA team, live minutes. Alright. So, here we go. Position average is an 83, right? I'm a playmaking shot creator, right? I dribble and I shoot. Alright. That's wonderful, right? Notice anything here? Pure archetype at 90 overall is, I mean, I have an open shot mid-range is quite a bit higher. Okay. Everything else, average, if not even that. Against an 83 overall. Not even hitting the averages. That's not even the point. It gets worse. It gets so much worse. Look at my standing dunk. When is my 6'4" fucking point guard gonna be standing dunk on anybody? When would I do that? He doesn't actually do that in game. Like, you can't. I mean, you may be able to. There may be something to it, but I have never seen a point guard that I've been playing be under the rim and just jump up and dunk. Ever. I've never seen it. I don't think you can until you're like a 60-something. It's false stats. You see the position average. 27. It's literally like this throughout the game. Contact dunk. If you don't have at least a 75 contact dunk, you're not contact dunking anybody. You're going to get a 50-50. That's what I call it. Because it's 50-50 whether or not they'll actually be lined up with you or not. If they're lined up with you, you're going to get shut down. If not, you'll make it. It doesn't matter what your rating is. Why do I have this insanely high contact dunk compared to the position average, but not high enough to actually matter? Not high enough to actually give me contact dunks. You have to be, I think it's a 75 or an 80 overall at contact dunk to actually get the animations. So anybody's like, I contact dunk constantly, you're a fucking idiot. You don't even know what you're doing, because you can't do it if you don't have the animations. And you can't buy the animations unless you have a 70 or 75 or whatever it is overall. It's fake fucking stats. It just gets worse, guys. It just gets worse. So, let's go down here. Yeah, here we go. What the fuck? What the fuck? I have, like, minimum wingspan. Literally. This build has, like, the whole point of this build is to dribble the ball and shoot off the dribble. That was the whole point of this build. I wanted to be a dribble god who could shoot. Why do I have twice the fucking average offensive rebound? It's so they could boost my stats. It's so they could boost my fucking stats. Everything in the game is made like this. It's all broke as hell. Not to mention, I'm a 90 overall. You see my potential. I can only be an 86. I honestly am to the point where I think that potential is your actual overall. That's your actual overall. Because I think what that potential is it takes into account your point guard stats. The stats that actually matter for a point guard or a shooting guard, whatever your position is. And that's what your build actually is. Because all these other stats are just garbage. They don't mean anything. They do nothing for you. Nothing for... If you don't have at least a 70 block, you ain't blocking shit. You ain't blocking nothing. They'll literally just shoot right through your hands. I've made videos on this where I actually showed it. I showed them actually shooting directly. The ball actually goes through your hand. It's fucking nuts. And I've realized over time, if you don't have a 70 overall block, that's what happens. They just shoot right through you. It's fake fucking stats. So your overall is garbage. That's the stage 3. That's a huge portion of why you get so far into a build and you're like, this build is trash. No, it's not. Every build is trash. It's just you pushed through it because you wanted it to be good. Because the computer gave you a few moments in the prelude, a few moments in every game where like you feel like maybe this build's doing something, and so you play another game or two, and it just keeps going that way, guys. That's all they're doing the entire fucking way. And yes, I have my hotspots and all that shit. I'm not an idiot. I know what I'm doing. Like, I know what I'm fucking doing. And I'm telling you, this game is broke as fuck. On purpose. It is broke as fuck on purpose to force you to buy more VC, to force you to start over. The main way you'll see this, especially with like your point guard and your shooting guards, next time you get in a game, go look at, always press triangle. Always press triangle and find out what are the stats of the guy I'm going against. Now you may find that a lot of the times you'll be going against guys who are, you know, you're a 90 and he's a 75. And so you'll have higher stats. But why does he have a 78, you have an 82 inside? He'll have an 82, you have an 85 mid-range. His stats will not be that much lower than you, even if he's 10 or 15 below your overall. And it's because he doesn't have bullshit stats. So I just showed you the bullshit stats on both the point guard and the center. It's like that throughout the entire game. The entire game is like that. It's fucked up. It's literally made for failure. It's literally made to set you up. If you make it through stage 1, you go into stage 2, right? The prelude sets you up for failure. You think you're amazing, you get to your first NBA game and you go, what the fuck? They literally take stats away from you. That's why you can't actually look at stats in preludes games. I used to think that was just because they didn't want to add that shit in. It'd be extra stuff. No, I get it now. They don't want you to look at stats in the prelude games because the stats are all boosted. And then when you get into the actual NBA, you realize very quickly, why am I half that speed? Why is everybody just blowing by me? It doesn't make any sense. Well, actually it does if they want you to think your build is suddenly bullshit. But they don't want to tell you it's bullshit right off the bat. If they came out and you made a build and you go into your first prelude game and you just get dominated, you're not going to spend VC on that player. That's crazy. Nobody would spend but if you go in, no matter what the build is, and you dominate the prelude, by the end of it, you're spending VC. The average person who's like just testing a build out is going to, yeah, I'm buying this build. Like, this build's awesome. I love it. And then he gets to MYCAREER and he gets dominated. You get tore up. The average on one-on-one is just like crazy. Your speed is slowed way the fuck down. Your lateral completely goes away and you're like, what the fuck happened? I must have made a shitty build. Let me start over. So you've gone through stage 1, you've gone through stage 2. Like I said, stage 3 is the stats. Let me show you stage 4. Oh, we're not done yet. We're not done yet. I know this video is like 30 minutes long already. We are not done yet. 2K literally built this entire game to be set up this way. So you think, well, you know what? Fuck the stats. The only thing that matters is fucking badges, right? That's the only thing that fucking matters, is badges. That's it. Okay, guess what? Guess the fuck what, Jack? Your badges are garbage. Your badges are fucking trash. And here's why. Make that build. Make that fucking build. Get gold dimer, gold difficult shots with Hall of Fame acrobat, Hall of Fame chase down, Hall of Fame relentless finisher, Hall of Fame flashy pass. You literally have every gold badge for passing, every gold badge for scoring, a bunch of Hall of Fame badges for scoring and defense. And at that point you might say, we're not going to talk about the silvers. At that point you may say, okay, but he's a 99, right? So like all these badges would be gold, these would be silvers, and then when you hit 99 they would jump. Okay. I chose LeBron James first to make this point. That is very likely. That is a possibility. I know that is the argument that people put forth. Let me show you why that argument is absolute garbage. It's bullshit. It makes no sense. It's total trash. It's just people trying to make excuses for a game that their fucking lips are wrapped around. So, let's see. Let's find him. Let's find our fucking man. You know who I'm going to. Steph Curry. Steph Curry is not a 99 overall. How the fuck does he have Hall of Fame deep range, Hall of Fame limitless, and gold ankle breaker? The closest that you can even get to this build is a playmaking sharpshooter. Actually, I think it's sharpshooting playmaker, who will get, you can choose one of the two. You can either have gold deep range with silver limitless and silver ankle breaker, or you can have gold ankle breaker with silver deep range and silver limitless. That's your choices. You cannot make this fucking build. It can't be done. Not to mention, he's got all the dimer badges too. He's got the shot creator badges too. He's got fucking gold corner specialist. He's got gold mid-range. He's got gold pick and roll. He's got gold teardropper, gold tireless. He has badges mixed from every fucking point guard archetype there is. And he's got them all on gold. You cannot make this build. It does not exist in the game. This is stage 4. Stage 4 is for the tryhards. It's for the guys who were like, fuck it, I don't even care that it doesn't seem right. I'm just going to keep pushing. And eventually I'll get my badges maxed out, and then I'll be dominant, and I'll be just as good as Curry. I'll be just as good as LeBron or whatever. No, you won't. You can't. Not only, oh, by the way, just to put this in there, you can't have his stats either. At 6'3", this build doesn't exist. There is no build in the game that at 6'3" has a 99 open shot mid-range and a 99 contested, off dribble, and open shot 3. It does not exist. You cannot make that. I don't care if you played a fucking 99. I don't care if you figure out how to go to 150. You cannot make this build. So you cannot hit his stats. You cannot get his badges. And you can't figure out why you're not as good as Steph Curry. Well, I just fucking told you. You hit stage 4. Stage 3 was the stats. Stage 1, prelude. Stage 2 is defense. Literally defense. They like I said, if you're short, they put a 6'10" player on you. If you're tall, you're going to be slow. They put a speed player on you with a crazy vertical. The game sets you up for failure at every stage. So stage 1, prelude. Stage 2 is your first MyCAREER game when you realize that prelude is set on rookie. And MYCAREER is set on pro and you can't change it. Stage 3 is your stats when you realize you can't have a 99 in all of your shooting. You can't do it. It doesn't exist. The build does not exist. I challenge anyone to make that build. Make Steph Curry. If anybody can make this build, I swear to God, I'll not only take this video down, I'll put up another video talking about how much of a fucking idiot I am. Because it doesn't exist. I've done the math. I've looked at the badges. I've looked at the maxes. It does not exist. You cannot do it. They did this on purpose, guys. This is stage 4. Stage 4 is you put on the work because that was your thought process, right? You thought, well, I'll just put in the work. I'll get my badges. I'll get my stats up. And eventually, I'll be the next Steph Curry. I'll be this pro fucking badass ball player, right? Because we want the power fantasy that we were talking about earlier in the video. Well, guess what? You can't have that. Start over. Buy more VC. Huh? Yeah. You can't get these badges. You can't get these stats. You cannot do it. It does not exist in the game. And it's not just Steph Curry and LeBron James. There's literally like almost every build in this game has players that are like this. As you go through, you realize very quickly, like it's all of them. It's all of them. It really is. So like he has gold rim protector and gold postman. You can't do that. You can't do that. Even if he was a 99 overall, the only way to do that would be my two-way post score that I have, and you would have Hall of Fame post spin with gold rim protector. That's the only way you could do that, but you would have to be a 99 overall. But you're going to have to face this guy until you hit 99. Like, it's just setting you up for failure. The whole fucking game just sets you up for failure all the way through. So that is stage 4, guys. There's multiple examples of it. It's builds you can't create. Everything in this game is to set you up to fail. I will mention it once again because I really hate trash talkers, and I know I'm going to get some who are like, you just suck at the game or this or that. Bitch, if you want to go spam your fucking pick and roll bullshit, ISO whatever, I don't even know the plays because I don't do them. I refuse to spam the exact same plays over and over and over again. I don't play Park. I only play MYCAREER. Why would I do that? Why would I limit myself to like these few things that you can do because they work? How fucking stupid are you? Like, come on. Like, get out of your box, bitch. What the fuck? So I don't want to hear none of that shit. Not to mention, I showed you guys my VIP stats. I don't suck at the game. Judging by what I've seen from other people's NBA, like, VIP stats, I'm pretty fucking decent. Like, I'm alright. And like I said, it's 4 stages. It literally is 4 stages. Actually, it's 5. Because the 5th stage is by the time you realize, by the time you see videos like this and you actually say, well, this dude's bitching, I don't want to hear him. Instead of saying that, you say, okay, well, let me actually listen to this chump. By the time you realize what has been done to you, it's 2K20, baby. It's 2K20 time. Guess what? Everything's changed. New archetype system, right? They're not going to monetize. They're not going to do the exact same shit that they just made more money than they ever have before. Why would they do that? 2K doesn't want to make money. They want to give us a game we enjoy, right? Right? Because that's what they've done every year on par for the last 3 years, right? Absolutely. Yeah. Are you fucking stupid? I'm not going to keep ranting, guys. I just set up the 4 stages, or 5, however you want to look at it, for you. I showed you the stats. I showed you the numbers. I showed you the badges. I showed you my experience. And I'm telling you right now, They're gonna do the exact same bullshit in 2K20. They're just gonna change up how it looks, because the average player, and I'm just being flat out honest here, and you guys can say what the fuck you want to say, but the average player is a 14-year-old in his mama's basement with his mama's credit card, who don't know his dick from a hole in the ground, who doesn't have a clue how to look for systematic effects, who doesn't have any idea that just maybe the build he made, that one build his mama let him make, is total garbage, not because the build is garbage, but because the game made it so on purpose to try to get him to buy another one. That 14-year-old player doesn't realize that 2K looks at him and says, wait a minute, you bought a player, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, you suck now. You gonna buy another one? Well, no, I can't buy another one. My mom said I could only have one. Well, fuck you. We're moving on to the next. That's how 2K looks at it. They don't give a fuck about you if you can only buy one player. Because they have literally thousands and thousands of people making like 10, 15 builds, spending $50 per build. That's how they did it. That's how they've literally like quadrupled their income, is by doing that. 2K20 is gonna be no different. I don't see any chances of them changing. You can put all the fucking cosmetics on it you want. You can put all the love on it you can want. You can put all the, well, you know, we've complained a lot and they gotta eventually do what we say. No, they fucking don't, bitch. You bought their game same as I did. You spent money on it same as I did. They got their profit. And as long as they're going to get their profit, they're going to keep doing what works. And what works is not what makes the game better for us. It's what makes us spend more money on the game. It's a business, you bitches. Open your eyes. It's a business. And there is only one way to go, and that's up. And if you ain't going that way, you are sinking. And it's over. They're gonna do the same shit times 10. I would not put it past 2K to monetize 2K20 and do these greedy little I can't even say the word systematic, whatever it is. These little schemes that they've done. People don't even realize this. This is why I'm making this video. I'm not making this video just to be another person who's like, oh, 2K sucks. No, I'm making this video because people don't even realize. This is why they're getting you. This is why you think your build sucks. This is why it's all fucked up. It's because you can't even do it. You can't even make these builds. I love it when I see these dumbass YouTubers who are like, this is the Steph Curry build. This is the LeBron James build. Bitch, you didn't even look at him. You didn't even look at Steph Curry. You didn't even look at LeBron James, because if you did, you would realize very quickly you can't make that build. It doesn't exist. Even at a 99 overall, you cannot make these builds. You are set up from failure from the very beginning. Go back and play the fucking prelude. That shit's on rookie. Why is there no rookie in the game? It starts in the very beginning, y'all. It starts right from the very fucking beginning. And it just goes all the way through your career. It really does. And so hopefully that was a decent enough explanation. I know it was very winded and long, but it had to be. I mean that's the details. They made it, you know, they don't do it complex by accident. They do it so, like I said, the 14-year-old in his mama's basement don't get it. He don't get it. He just wants to talk trash to the guy talking trash to 2K. He doesn't actually want to look at the actual things that are happening, the actual numbers, the badges, whatever it may be. He doesn't want to look at that. Because he doesn't understand it. He can't. It's too many numbers, man. The average person that plays this game is a fucking idiot. If you don't believe me, go watch your favorite YouTuber who plays this game in the park. I've seen these guys. Now, I can't do what they do because I haven't learned how to do that shit. But they all do the same thing. They have their spams. If you're a pure playmaker, like there's a 99 overall pure playmaker. He's a very big YouTuber. I actually like his videos. I'm not going to mention his name. But he does the same behind the back, step in, step out, back into the rim every single time when he's in the park. And then he always just makes sure he has shooters on his team. And so they watch him step in, step out, he passes out, and they make the three, or he makes the layup. Every single time. You watch this dude, this exact same dude, play defense on his small forward, pure playmaker. He sucks. He's the worst fucking defender I ever seen, but his player is so fast that he can just recover from it. It's not a skill thing. Your sharpshooters, what do? Left, right trees, do a spin or whatever, but they have Pro 4 or whatever it is spin, which actually makes them take a step back, and then they go right back into a left right cheese, and it throws defenders off every single time. Before I made sharp builds, I watched a sharp video from a certain king who is supposed to be one of the best sharpshooters in 2K, and I actually watched some of his park videos, and I realized he does the exact same thing every fucking time. Oh, and guess what? He can't play defense at all. At all. In my career, you have to be able to do it all. You have to be able to play defense. So that little spam spin bullshit is going to do you no favors. That's why they tell you to spam the pick and roll in my career, because you can't do the shit in park in my career. It won't work. The defense will literally just sit on you. So I didn't mean to go on a rant hating on other YouTubers, whatever. They can do what they want. But it's not a fucking skill thing. It literally is, the game is setting you up for failure. So there you go. There's the 4 or 5, however you want to look at it, stages of how 2K is fucking you over. I started this video talking about the YouTuber Jacked Bill. He's kind of led the way on the 2K20 boycott. I'm personally saying right now, and you can call me out if when 2K20 hits and it doesn't have just insanely badass reviews where they're like, oh my god, they changed everything and nothing is monetized and there's no more VC, you know. If none of that's going on, if you see me on 2K20, man, fucking hate on me. Just hate on me. Like, give me all kinds of hate. Like, it's fine. I will accept it. Because I'm telling you right now, I am boycotting that game. Fuck that game. Because look what they did us here. Look what they did in 17. They did a lot of the same shit in 17. Look what they did in 16. Look what they did in 18. 16 was only good for the park players. Don't give me that bullshit about 16 was so fucking amazing. If you were a MYCAREER player, 16 was just as bad. Last time I actually remember having fun in MYCAREER was 2K14. And that's because there was no limits. You could literally make a 99 overall 3 with 99 dribble, and you could just rip the fucking defense apart in MYCAREER, and it was hella fun. You could put up 150 points per game, break ankles all day. It was fucking fun. You could dash past your guy every time. I had fun doing it. It gave me a power trip. It was the power fantasy. I'm playing against the computer. I'm not playing against other people. There's no reason I shouldn't be allowed to do that. And so that's going to do it for me, guys. I hope this video wasn't too much of a rant. I hope it was pretty informative. I tried to show you guys as much of the actual stats and stuff as possible. I tried to explain it as in-depth as possible. The 4 or 5 stages. It is what it is. They do it at every stage. The game sets you up for failure to make you spend more money. And they're going to do it again next year. And so I'll be boycotting 2K20. I'm hollering, I'm yelling at my boy. Well, he's not my boy. I don't even know him. I'm not trying to like say I have any type of connection whatsoever. But I like his YouTube channel, and I agree with what he's been saying. And I like the fact that he goes into the details. So if you guys haven't checked out Jack Build, I don't get paid for this. Go check that dude out. He's got good shit. And he's kind of leading the 2K20 boycott, and I'm backing him up. He's got me as backup. I'm a little 200 subscriber YouTuber. I'm a nobody, but he's got me. Like, I'm backup because I'm boycotting it too. I got no interest in playing for 2K20. Honestly, I'm not going to quit playing basketball. I'm just going to keep playing 2K19. I'm going to keep pushing for 99. I don't know why. Because I know they're going to do the exact same thing in 19 that they did in 18 when 19 came out. They boosted all the NPC stats in 18 when 19 came out to try to force us over into 19. They're going to do it again. But I'm feeling motherfucking defiant. Fuck them. And so, as I like to end a lot of my 2K videos, I'm going to end this one the exact same way. Fuck you, 2K. Sam out.